Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that, dagnabbit. We got some things to talk about. This is some crazy stuff. There's some really big things going on revolving around Shannon Sharpe, and we have got to get into this conversation. I'm just going to keep it real. This is pretty crazy. We got some breaking news. Breaking news, man, oh man. And we're going to talk about the possibility of prison and all that stuff here in just a minute. Some of y'all are trying to get straight to the point. We're going to get to it, but I hope you guys all doing well out there. All right. I had a few videos that I put out yesterday, but I missed you guys yesterday on a live. We're here to have that conversation, to talk about things that are going on in the world. And let me tell you something. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. All right. So please do me a favor before we get into everything. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Hit that reaction button, please, and thank you. Don't forget, if you are watching on other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, make sure you hit that follow button over there, okay? Follow me over there. Subscribe here on my main channel on the YouTube right here, okay? Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Go over to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips, because there's a lot of things I'm talking about over there that I'm not talking about over here. Literally, it's like they're my B-sides. How's that? All right? So that's a little bit of old school terminology, but you know what I mean, all right? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So go over to the second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you're subscribed over there. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Set it to all for both channels so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Okay? Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, don't forget to check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, y'all. PascalMerch.com. Go check it out. Like I said, fantastical clothes. All right? One of a kind. Literally one of a kind stuff. Right over there at PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys, we have taken a little bit of a break from the Shannon Sharpe shakedown. At least that's what I'm calling it. And if somebody else takes that, then remember where you got it from. All right? You got it from here, dagnabbit. It is the Shannon Sharpe shakedown. I guess you could put a question mark on it. How's that? A lot of people are thinking that this situation with Shannon Sharpe is fake news. Some people believe that he is just an innocent man with a wayward peen. Yes, I said it. And that maybe he just likes sticking his hand in a lot of cookie jars. And apparently a lot of one-way street cookie jars? I don't know how to explain it. But nonetheless, he's being accused of doing some very, very nasty things. Now, don't get me wrong. We're all human. We all do things. We're all nasty in the bedroom. If you really think about it, what we do to, let's just be real. If we are in the act of creating life, what we do is kind of nasty. If you really think about it, it is nasty. It is what it is, okay? Doing the hibbity-dibbity can very well be, it's not clean. There's nothing clean about it. It's nasty. It's dirty. It's raunchy. It can be filthy, depends on you, however you row that boat, all right? But nonetheless, it's nasty, and we all do it. I mean, unless you're ordained and you've sworn yourself to abstinence or married yourself to God. That's another conversation in itself. All right. But nonetheless, when it comes to us being humans out here, this is how we all get on this planet, is by two people, most of the time two people, traditionally two people, okay? But two people get together. They do the sideways samba, and then 9 months later, a baby comes out. The act is very nasty. Yes, and we call it the hibbity-dibbity because we can't call it anything else. We can't call it the technical terms on this platform, unfortunately, because if you do, you get in trouble. So, this is a totally normal thing that we all do as human beings. It is totally natural to have desires. It's totally natural. But with Shannon Sharpe's situation, this is a very interesting one and very bad because we've already heard audio that has come out. We've already heard that there's allegedly a freak off tape, his own version of a freak off tape. Let me just say that too. And the reason why I say a freak off tape is because this tape is not just a regular good old fashioned, missionary sideways samba hibbity dibbity type of thing. This has to do with black pleather straps. And actually, by the way, just so you know, I think I am going to make a t-shirt out of that. I'm not kidding. I've already made the design and everything. So there might be a t-shirt coming out called Black Pleather Straps. And everybody who wears it, you're just going to have to explain it to people. You're going to be like, it's because of Pascal. It's all his fault. Just so you know. So I have a feeling that shirt's coming out soon. So anyway, this one has to do with that. Little S&M, little BDSM, little, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot more spicy. As we've been saying, it's 50 shades of Shay Shay, right? We got jokes today, guys. We've had a little bit of a break, so we had time to come up with these jokes. You feel me? Now, we've seen text messages that he put out showing how dirty of a girl this girl can be, right? How nasty, how filthy, how raunchy she could be, right? Somebody said, put some sauce on it. Put some sauce on it. I'm done. But yeah, we see in those text messages that she was pretty, you know what I'm saying? Kind of wild. And if you definitely were trying to sow your royal oats, she definitely was helping you sow them oats. Sow them wild oats. All right? Now, he puts these text messages out. He also, in my personal opinion, makes the worst decision ever by making this dumbass move. I said it. It's a dumb move he did, which is exposing the woman's name. He did it twice. He didn't do it only just once. He did it 2 times a lady. He did it 2 times, y'all. Once in legal documents that were done by his lawyer, which also his lawyer gave him the thumbs up about that as well. Okay. Now, to do that, they put it out on legal documents, and then he went on to his own platforms and posted this. Just a quick trip down memory lane. Oh, let me just share this. Whoops. Let me just share this with y'all. But again, he made the huge mistake by posting this video as well. Quick trip. Let's go.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Now, first off, let me just make this abundantly clear. This is going to be very important. What he just said right there about this freak off tape. I said it just a little bit earlier in our conversation. Just a quick reminder. We are coming back to that conversation about that freak off tape because it is a freak off tape. Okay. Black pleather straps. Okay. Just so you know. Now, the other part he said here, which is interesting because it does tell me something. Maybe there's a possibility of something else. Hear me out.
that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Play into every stereotype you can possibly imagine. Now, hear me out. I know this sounds a little crazy. Somebody gonna be like, "You crazy, Pascal? That's crazy, man." But I might be right. Hear me out. Now, we've been seeing these text messages. Her talking about baby gravy, balls. Okay. She also says, I want you to put a big black baby in me. So there's a possibility that race play is involved in here. Now, he just said something right there. Let me repeat it. Let me repeat that little part right there.
Of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Now, my question, I've had time to listen to this, but the question I have in my mind now is he talking about race play? Every stereotype of being a black man, being with, I mean, from my understanding, she's Spanish. I don't even know. I mean, her last name is Zuniga. So again, I keep wondering, is she Latina? Is she from Spain? What's her whole ethnicity and her whole background? And and she might be mixed. Okay. She might be half white, half Latina. I don't know. I don't know what she identifies herself as, but the fact that they've been doing a lot of race play in their relationship, okay, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it, okay, in their business transaction, that's what I like to call it. All right. Could there be a situation in this freak off tape that he made himself with her? He had knowledge of it. He gave it the thumbs up, which I've already said, don't make tapes like this if you are a person who is with somebody for 5 seconds. Just don't do it. Do it with your wife. Do it with your husband. Okay? But don't do it with somebody you know for a fact does this for a living on camera already. Moving on, though. I keep wondering if there is race play depicted in these videos or in this 10-minute video that he says exists. But you also got to remember, from what we've heard, we heard it with the lawyer getting interviewed by Don Lemon on Don Lemon's show. I highly recommend you guys go check out the first 20 minutes of Don Lemon's interview with Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. The lawyer even says that there is stuff that is being seen, that has been filmed in this freak-off tape, that is bad, extremely incriminating. That there's something that happens in that video where they are together, and she says, no, multiple times. And he keeps on doing what he's doing. Now, if that is 110% true, and that's exactly what's been depicted and filmed in this video, he is in some serious trouble. But there's the other part that I keep wondering about, the stereotype part. Was there race play being involved? Was there some weird, strange thing that was going on? Were they calling each other, which is kind of wild. I don't know how anybody can get off on being called the N-word or being called a racial slur, but at the same time, maybe there was some crazy stuff that was going on. All of that is being allegedly depicted in this video. So again, why would Shannon Sharpe say, all the stereotypes of, you know what I mean? Like, why would he say something like that if it has to do with this, when it has to do with this particular freak off tape? Think about that for a second. Think about that. Is there something going on in that thing? Like I said before, I really don't want to see the video. I really don't. But apparently, some other people have. They're saying this guy should go to prison. He's going to prison for what he's done. We're going to talk about all that in a second, but let me let him finish cooking. And some people like what he displayed, what he said in this statement, and other people are saying this is weak sauce. I don't know, y'all. Now, as the as the story continues to trudge forward, there are more things that I'm kind of curious about that I'd really like to get some more clarity on. Not the tape. Maybe a breakdown of the tape. I don't need to see if there is actual RSA being captured on this film, on this video. I don't want to see it. But if she is literally begging him to stop doing what he is doing, and that is caught on film, the man be screwed. He's screwed. Because again, we all learned this. We all know this. That as soon as it is, you know for a fact, the moment between when it was consensual to when it turned to not being consensual is when a person flat out says no. They only need to say it one time, y'all. And apparently she said it multiple times, and it did not stop him from doing what he was doing. That is very bad news bears, guys. Bad news bears. But I'm going to let him cook.
That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down.
Okay. Now, we already heard the rest of this, but clearly he says out loud her name and her OF name, her screen name, and her actual legal God-given name, which in my personal opinion, very dumb idea, very dumb move. He shouldn't have done that in my personal opinion. And in fact, I know he's got a really good lawyer. His lawyer does not suck at what he does. But I disagree with his lawyer exposing the Jane Doe out there for everybody to see. Because again, they could use that against him in court. Say that he's a dangerous person. He's manipulative. He's using his power because he has a much bigger voice. Think about this. He has a much bigger voice and much louder voice than this Gabriella Zuniga person. You got to remember that. He's a TV person. He's a TV and online personality. Well, not really anymore, but he's more of an online personality. Hundreds of millions of people are listening to him all the time. Every time he goes live, every time he sits down with a huge celebrity on his Club Shay Shay or nightcap, people are listening to him. He has power. He has that power of the voice, which is something that Gabriella Zuniga does not really have. She's not a name like that. She might be a name on OF, if you feel me, okay? She might make a crap ton of money online doing that stuff, but it's not because she talks. It's because of something else. So again, I could see them using that. The fact that he exposed her in that fashion, came out and said all these things. I could see that coming back to bite him right in the butt. Bad. Now, again, the question still remains, what is being captured? What was being seen? What was captured on this in these videos or in this one video that they have? And I guarantee you there's probably more than just one. Because if they were really that freaky deaky, I'm sure that there's more than just one. And we've already seen Gabriella, all right, even come out and speak out on her own side of things, basically saying like, hey, you know, I will be exposing everything soon enough. Just you wait and see, right? Which, of course, let me see if I can find that again. Because I got it somewhere in here. But nonetheless, here you go. Here's one of them. We don't have to see the whole thing or both. But she says, everything in the dark always comes to light. Healing first, speaking later. I'll be going live soon when I'm ready. Everything will make sense. Stay tuned. So again, this is somebody who's going to be coming out with some sort of stuff that's going to be even more incriminating. And let me tell you this too. because I like to sit on the fence and it's uncomfortable as hell. But right now, the court of public opinion is side-eyeing the hell out of Shannon Sharpe right now. There are a lot of people on the other side. It split the room, but there's a lot of people on both sides. One side is sitting there saying, oh, it's a shakedown. Other people on the other side are like, oh, no. After hearing those recordings, I mean, this is not good. It's not painting Shannon Sharpe in a good light. Then the fact that he had to step down from his job at ESPN says a lot, which is insane to me. Like this right here. He says, my statement is found here and is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason, which we now have understood that it's in August when preseason starts. So I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I've received from my family, friends, fans, and colleagues. And then, of course, it was signed Shannon Sharpe. Now, so, of course, he stepped down from from ESPN. Some sources are saying that he got fired, that he put this out as a PR front to make it seem like, no, I made the decision to walk away. Now, we've even heard from Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is also one of the hosts on the same show that Shannon Sharpe is on. And even he himself has said he decided to step down. It was a decision that he made himself to step away for a little bit. Not step down, not walk away, not quit, not resign from his spot, but actually step aside for a little bit so that he can figure this whole legal situation out. I don't blame him. I don't blame Shannon Sharpe for doing that. But at the same time, it didn't work out. Things are not working out in his favor. So we got to get into this conversation. Because now we understand that the $100 million deal that he was making off of his podcast is now freaking gone. All because he did it all for the nookie. I'm sorry. That's a little bit of an old school song. But he did it for the nookie. He lost it because of the nookie. Do you understand? Because he kept putting his hands in that cookie jar when he shouldn't have put his hands in that cookie jar, I guess. Now, let me just say, however you do your thing, if you want to Bill Belichick yo-ish, hey, that ain't my business, okay? You know what happened with Bill Belichick, right? Please tell me you know what happened with Bill Belichick, because that one's sus as hell too. All right? Look it up. Look at that interview. And you tell me something ain't weird about that relationship. But never mind. Nonetheless, that's another conversation. That's a whole other Charles Dickens story that we might talk about later on. Okay? Now, here's the thing. He had $100 million resting on his podcast. Multi-million dollar deal. Of course, he's going to sit there and try to cover up as much as he can so it doesn't bite him in the ass. So he doesn't have $100 million loss, $100 million podcast deal just fall through the cracks. This man is losing endorsements and he is losing that money. Right now, as we speak, people are stepping away even more. Why? Because they heard those audios. Those audio files are damning. He can sit there and try to explain himself as much as he can. But right now, people are side-eyeing the situation. Doesn't matter if this is a full-on Shannon Sharpe shakedown. It doesn't matter. Because of what the people have heard so far. Oh, let's not forget, there was another, someone else, another victim, alleged victim, has come out with allegations as well against Shannon Sharpe. Former girlfriend saying that he was going to, put his paws on her and all that as well. All those things are starting to come out. All those things are coming to the light now. So you have all that. The audio, which is 2 different audio clips. One says, when I see you, I'm going to put my hands on you. Okay, I'm paraphrasing. The other one said, I might just put my hands on you in public. Big black man chokes the ish out of little white woman or something like that. Now, out of context, that sounds terrible. In context, we don't know what that context is, which is really, really bad and frustrating. Because, of course, we want to know, is this just some weird BDSM thing where they're just doing this role play thing and he's just trying to give her a little bit of, what's the word? A little bit of a little appetizer, right? Wind her up so that by the time he gets into LA to see her, she's primed and ready to get it on. It's a question. It's a question indeed. But now we got some things in here that do not look good for Shannon Sharpe. So the future of his $100 million podcast deal revealed after Star gambled with career by releasing raunchy texts. So by him putting out those texts, you got to remember the text came out and then the audio came out. Actually, it was the statement that he made, that he had his lawyer make, that exposed the Jane Doe's name to be revealed as Gabriella Zuniga. Then he put out the text messages saying, see, she nasty. Come on now, people. She nasty, right? They were both nasty, apparently. Those text messages now open up a whole can of worms. All right. And has made situations even worse for Shannon Sharpe, because then that's when we get the audio, 2 audios coming out. Then he had to come out with a video that we just watched, basically letting people know, yeah, there's a freak off tape. Like, what? Did you have to tell us that? I get getting in front of everything, but is that the right thing? Is that the right tactic? Or no? But you got to remember, there was something that was presented to Shannon Sharpe and his legal team that made him go, I need to pay you. I'm going to pay you $10 million. How about at least $10 million? At minimum $10 million to let this all go away. Something was in there that was incriminating enough that would motivate Shannon Sharpe to revisit, sit down and have a conversation with his lawyer and say, how about if we give her about like 10 to 15 mil so she could, shush up. Something happened. Something was depicted. Something was caught on audio or on video that made Shannon Sharpe shake in his little skivvies. It's got to be. So let's see. The ESPN pundit has enjoyed runaway success with his shows on the Volume Podcast Network since leaving Undisputed on FS1 in 2023. His flagship show, Club Shay Shay, has attracted millions of listeners and boasts over 4 million YouTube subscribers, which is a lot. With Sharpe's deal with Volume, the network owned by Fox anchor Colin Cowherd, recently expiring, insiders say multiple new offers have been put on the table. However, the emergence of 2 separate misconduct lawsuits, which include graphic text messages seen by The Sun, which we're reading here, has forced the 3-time Super Bowl winner to step away from appearing on First Take until later this year. The Sun understands the allegations have sent shockwaves through ESPN and derailed plans by other media companies to acquire his podcast properties. I even heard that there are other people in ESPN that were basically demanding that he step down or step away because they felt some type of way about these allegations that he was hit with. They said as soon as they heard the first audio of him saying, I'm going to choke the ish out of you when I see you kind of thing. As soon as they heard that, they were like, no, we don't want nothing to do with this. We are out. Don't talk to me. Please make sure he is out. That's what the rumors are saying. That's what the streets are saying right now. Okay? See? And of course, now there's other people that they're looking at possibly having him be replaced while he is gone, which basically is an ultimate audition to see if they can take over Shannon Sharpe's spot for good. At least that's what the streets are saying right now, that this is not over. And he's got a long journey ahead of him, guys. He has a massively long journey ahead of him. This is going to be a lonely, cold time for Shannon Sharpe. And he better hope to sweet Jesus that he'll be able to continue doing his show, Club Shay Shay, and also Nightcap without any hiccups. Because you know for a fact there's going to be a lot of people that are going to sit there and say, I don't know if I want to sit across from him right now with all the controversy that's on him right now. But you know for a fact there's going to be other people that are willing to step right next to him. So, continuing on, the Denver Broncos legend had been eyeing a major six-figure deal for the entire Shay Shay network, which includes Club 520 podcast, the Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. But a source close to Sharpe, who works on First Take, said the 52-year-old has gambled with his career amid a slew of disturbing allegations from the lawsuits. Now, according to court documents, Sharpe allegedly violently SA'd and AR'd, I can't even use, you know what I mean, attacked this person, from the back, if you get what I'm saying, okay, which we already know who she is, but they're saying that she begged him to stop, but he did not. He continued doing what he was doing. So they also obtained a separate lawsuit filed by another of Sharpe's former girlfriends, Michelle Bundy Evans, who claims she was also attacked. So the podcast deals are off the table, said the source. Shannon's reputation has ruined everything. Getting all that money is no longer a reality. Yes. So that $100 million deal that he had, completely off the table. It's gone, baby. It's gone. All because of his swashbuckling ways, running around, gallivanting with these damn scallywags. And that's what happens. The insider added that I think it's revelations, I guess, of Sharpe's relationship with a much younger woman has likely turned off any remaining potential investors. Now, I mean, here it is. Aside from the revelations of, that's what they're trying to say, the revelations of his relationship with a much younger woman, let me keep it a bean with y'all. That is not what he's saying here. What has happened to him being with a younger woman is not a far-fetched thing, guys. We've seen it a million times before. We've seen plenty of very well-to-do rich men who are well in their 50s, if not 60s, if not 70s, Belichick, running around with a young little thing on their arm that is 90% younger than them. Let's be real. We've seen it a million times. And these guys who are doing $100 million deals, they've seen it too. Plenty of times. They'll be like, they're trying to do a deal with a guy named Mike. $100 million deal. Say he's in his 50s, late 50s. He shows up to to sit down and have some cognac and maybe smoke a cigar. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Mike, oh, yeah. Who's this lovely young woman? Lovely young woman. 90% of the time, they have somebody on their arm that's way younger than them. Oh, her name's Coco. Oh, Coco, you're beautiful. What a beautiful woman. Nice to meet you. Have a seat. Can we get you anything? Yes, I like a Chardonnay. You know what I mean? Okay, Coco, Chardonnay for Coco. All right, Mike. So we're here to talk about this deal. We love your show. We think you're hilarious, very entertaining, blah, blah, blah. 9 times out of 10, you see something like that. So for them to sit there and go, oh, an insider adds that they're so shook by the fact that he was dating somebody younger. Nah. Come on, man. Come on, man. What Belichick and Shannon Sharpe are doing is a thing that has been going on for as long as we have been alive, okay? It's a tale as old as time. I'm sorry, but it's the truth, okay? So as much as they sit there and go, oh, we're so thrown off that he would date somebody so young, okay? That's a lie. Sorry. That's a lie. I don't agree with that. I don't. Because what Shannon Sharpe has been doing is this is old time stuff, y'all. Somebody said eons. Yeah, eons. This has been going on forever. So, moving on. I can't see anyone wanting to work with him now. This is what the source continued to say, especially women. Hence the reason why I was telling you about there's certain staff members at the ESPN that allegedly spoke out to the heads of ESPN and said he needs to step down or we gonna have a problem with this. And so he stepped aside. So the Sun also understands Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion Jason Kelce is one of the front runners to possibly replace Sharpe on First Take as the controversy continues. Now, let me tell you, I mean, I don't know much about Jason Kelce. All I know is, about his football career and that his brother is Travis Kelce. And, Travis Kelce is, obviously we already know about Travis Kelce. But what's interesting about this is Shannon Sharpe lost his job. Yes, I said it. It's official. I personally think, I truly believe in my heart of hearts, Shannon Sharpe has lost his job. It's official. If they show Jason Kelce on First Take and he has a first good show, it's a wrap. Shannon Sharpe will no longer be on First Take anymore. I'm sorry to say it like that, but just do the math. People really love them some Jason Kelce. This, at least from what I've been seeing out here in these streets, people really love his attitude, love his personality, and all that stuff. For him to come in and be like, yeah, we're going to bring you in because he brings in numbers too, guys. It might be a different demographic for sure. But any person who is a fan of football, anybody who's a fan of sports and appreciates what Jason Kelce contributes to the world of sports, that's a damn good replacement. And he has his own fair share of podcasts. I'm just saying, it's a smart move because they still need the numbers. Jason Kelce has a decent following, if I'm correct, on YouTube as well, on social media as well. One thing that Shannon Sharpe did have is that he had a massive a massive amount of listeners that they would all, not all, but a good portion of them would go over to First Take. And that's one thing that helped with their ratings because he was a crossover between the internet and TV. So all the people that were watching him on the internet love that interview with, Shay Shay and on Club Shay Shay with, Cat Williams. They're going, let me see what he got to say about this, about this upcoming lineup on First Take. So again, this is going to be bad. It's a very telling move, guys. Long story short, this is a very, very telling move. They're not bringing just some random talking head who talks just like this, right? And he's on the 50-yard line, and I think he's going to be one hell of a player for that team. Back to you, Steve. No, it's not going to be like that. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be like that. Not with Jason Kelce. They want attitude. They want that color commentary. They want that fire. So if they really, really wanted Shannon Sharpe back, they would not put somebody like Jason Kelce in his spot. I'm telling you right now, it is a diabolical move, and it's very telling. It's a wrap. We could basically say Shannon Sharpe has lost his job at First Take. Moving on. He's the name on everyone's lips. What? A source at the network said. Sharpe, of course, is facing a lot of allegations we already know about. Okay? Documents obtained by the Sun. The woman claimed that he had attacked her. He repeated, despite her repeated pleas for him to stop. And from what we heard in the interview that he said, that the lawyer said, his lawyer said that she asked him multiple times to stop, and he would not stop. And that's apparently what's being depicted in this video that they're allegedly going to put out. Again, when somebody says no, you stop. And here's the other thing too. It doesn't even matter if they had a safety word, because like I said, black pleather straps. Okay, doesn't matter if she was supposed to say aardvark. No also means no. Oh, here's another one. Stop is also a word that is an instant kill switch. No and stop. Those should be the two main ones. And then, of course, there's the other one. Pineapples, aardvark, leprechaun, whatever it may be. But no and stop should most definitely be number one on your list as far as safety words. But apparently when he said stop multiple times, or she said stop multiple times, he kept on digging. Hold on real quick. Let me get these these chats here. Tyler, thank you so much for being a member for the past 2 years. Over 2 years. I appreciate it. What a mess of a story. I agree. This is getting bad. It's bad. It's bad because we are seriously watching Shannon Sharpe's whole castle that he's been building for the past couple years now slowly crumble to the ground. It's going in a very multicolored, fiery mess, but still, it is not great to see something like this, especially for those who looked up to Shannon Sharpe, who look up to his shows, love how he does his podcasts and all that, right? Rianne, thank you so much for being another 26er. Thank you so much. Howdy, y'all, and P. Hope all is grand with everybody. Peace and love. Absolutely. Absolutely. Same to you. Same to you. I appreciate the love, okay? But by him going off and gallivanting with random scallywags and trusting these scallywags, he has lost his career, or his career is slowly falling apart. But here's the thing, though, because you can look at both sides. One, it would be good to find someone who's closer to your age rather than date somebody that's so much younger than you. But then also at the same time, and I'm not trying to throw shade on any person that does OF, do you boo-boo, but at the same time, if you know what kind of content that person is creating, I would pump the brakes on making very carnal decisions with that particular person, especially if those carnal decisions are being captured on tape. I truly believe that there's other opportunities out there, or you'll have the same type of energy with other people. That is not just, if you're out there and you're looking for that one, or you're trying to find that one that's gonna like have fun with you, that has that same energy. You get what I'm saying? That same carnal energy as you. I'm sure you could find others. Like I'm sure that you could find others. But when it comes to somebody who is making content like that, it's kind of the bed he made for himself. But at the same time, you would hope that by picking somebody, being with somebody like that makes that kind of content or who enjoys that kind of stuff, you would hope that they would keep things discreet. But at the end of the day, if you can't control yourself and you are going wild, you're going buck wild on somebody, and they're telling you no, that's on you. And Josie, I agree. When that video does leak, because I do feel that it will leak at some point, it'll be out here. CNN will be putting it out. Okay, wait for it. But I'm telling you right now, that video leaks, he's done. He'll be and if it's done, if he's in some sort of compromising position or compromising type of way, he is going to be a meme for the rest of his life. He'll be the ongoing joke. There'll be an ongoing joke for the rest of his life. That's sad. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So again, it's going to be interesting whenever that stuff does come out. It's going to be interesting. But we got some conversations to have about that said tape, because we got some updates revolving around that too. So do me a favor, guys, before we get into more and go further into this conversation, okay? Do me a solid. Let's hit that like button down below. Can we get it to 800 likes? I don't think that's much to ask. I don't think it's too much to ask. Hit that like button down below, baby. Okay, let's get it to 800 likes. Let's see over 1,000 people in the chat right now. Get it to 800. Come on. A like don't cost a thing. So please hit that like button. Let's get it to 800. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I know some of y'all are watching from the nosebleed seats. You've been seeing these shows. You stay entertained and all of that stuff. All I ask for you to do, it's very simple, is to hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button. And also, one last thing. I know it's a lot. You're going to be like, oh my God, my finger's so tired from hitting like and subscribe. But one last thing. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all. So you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because a lot of times it's breaking or it's very random. Okay? Thank you. So let's get into this. We got more. So, of course, in a statement posted on Instagram, he maintained his relationship was 100% consensual. Sure, it's 100% consensual until she said no. All right. So we already know about all of this stuff. This situation is a complete disaster, the source said. People are shocked, and it's likely his reputation and career are irreparably damaged. Yeah. His career is completely damaged for this. There's got to be something. He's going to need something that's going to bounce him back. That's going to be just so like, oh, snap. He's innocent, guys. That's going to be what it is. It's going to be like, oh, my damn. Oh, no, Shannon Sharpe. It is a shakedown. He's innocent. But I don't know. This is 50 Shades of Shay. Real talk. Another ESPN employee described the workplace atmosphere as unbearable, like a war zone, adding that many are disgusted by Sharpe. He's as toxic now. He's seen as toxic now. I'm sorry. He's seen as toxic now. This is what the insider said. Trust has been broken, and people would have complained to management or resigned if he hadn't stepped down. There it is. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Trust has been broken, and people would have complained to management or even resigned if he hadn't stepped down. So people have been like, yo, I'm not with it. If you're willing to keep this guy who's an alleged monster right now on the payroll, they were willing to get rid of their own check, sacrifice their own check so that they didn't have to be around this guy. That's insane. I can't believe he gambled his career by being with a 20-year-old. I'm sorry. He's effed everything up. It's pathetic. Yeah. It's bad. He did it all for the nookie. Like he did. Doesn't matter if he's innocent or not. He really enjoyed, allegedly, obviously he enjoyed it. Why would he go back 100 times? From other reports, they had these kind of sessions over 100 times. So clearly he enjoyed it enough to keep on sticking his hand in that cookie jar. And this is why I keep saying, ladies and germs, make sure you know exactly what kind of garden you're putting your weed whacker in, okay? Make sure you know exactly what kind of garden you're putting your weed whacker in. That's all I'm saying. And stop making tapes with random people. To stop. Especially when you make monies. Especially when you are very, very wealthy, very successful. It doesn't matter. Don't do it. Because that ish will leak if you're smashing somebody that they, especially if you're smashing somebody and their heart is in it. Oh, my damn. Think about it. When you smashing somebody, your heart's not in it, but you're enjoying the extracurricular activities. Okay, you're getting your wind, you're getting your cardiovascular on, you're getting your endurance. You're thankful for that. All right, and you're getting off. But at the same time, though, you don't think that it's a serious relationship, but the other person does think it's a serious relationship. But then you're caught sticking your hand in somebody else's cookie jar, or your weed whacker in somebody else's garden, and you've just made countless hours of content with that person that you never thought was a serious relationship, you're in a world of trouble. You're in a world of trouble. I still do think that this could possibly be a shakedown, but I really want to hear the rest of the audio of those audio tapes. Again, though, if there is a video that exists, and whilst they're in the middle of doing God knows what they're doing, and she says no a bunch of times, he's in trouble. He's in big trouble, guys. Now, let's talk about that tape, shall we? Now, remember, he was the one who said it. We never heard from anyone else say that they were going to release a tape. Hold on. Just cross-referencing so that you guys can hear it one more again, because it's Shannon Sharpe that's the one that talks about this tape. Let's just go quick trip down memory lane.
Created by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
Okay, we've already heard this a million times, but just understand, we didn't hear this from anybody else. The only person that we heard it from was him, from this video. He says they have a 30-second snippet of a video should be coming out. And he's like, hey, it should be 10 minutes or so long, but come on. If you want to, go ahead, expose it all. He's like, in fact, why don't you put the whole thing out? I would if I had the video. Now, what's weird is that if this is evidence and his team has asked this Jane Doe or, Gabriella for the actual footage and they've said no, that's weird. That's weird. And instantly everyone should be, eyebrows should be raised. Like, okay, a little weird. But at the same time, does not mean it doesn't exist. Remember that. So the fact that he is saying, hey, he's getting ahead of it, I understand that. That is a tactic. That's for show a tactic. But something that seems a little bit weird to me. Why would he say this? Why, aside from getting ahead of it, why would he put it out there? Just so you know, they never made, Tony Busby and Gabriella never put a statement out there saying, yeah, we got a tape. It's damning. We got a whole video of him and his, him and himself out there doing some things. They never said anything like that. That's all they have not. So again, I keep wondering, which I understand him getting ahead of this, but he's the one who said this. not the other way around. Now, I get it. Evidence should be given to both parties so that they know what's going on, right? It's as far as discovery and whatnot. And when this goes, if this goes and sees the inside of a courtroom, I hope that they get exactly like Shannon Sharpe actually gets what he wants, which is the footage. But if they were to put this out, this would be very damning for Gabriella and Tony Busby, because then it would look like a full-on shakedown. Optically, it would. It definitely would. Also, it'd be revenge P word. Revenge corn, for sure. Which, of course, is illegal. And if this was to be leaked, then everyone would know exactly where it came from. And then they're getting citations, they're getting in trouble, and they could see the inside of a prison or inside of a jail cell, right? But here's something that's interesting. They say here that his accuser won't release key evidence video. This is what their lawyers are saying. Now, if they were to put out this footage, like I said, this would come back and bite him in the butt, y'all. This would be a very bad move for his accuser to step forward and say or show anything, any stitch of this to the public. They could seriously see they could see some time behind bars for something like this, including Tony Busby. He could be disbarred for things like this, which I'm still surprised he hasn't been disbarred thus far. All right. But real quick, 720. What up? Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Shannon messed up. We all know it. Oh, yeah. He definitely screwed up big time. Definitely screwed up big time. But here it is. The lawyer representing the woman, Tony Busby, all right, says they will not be releasing the video that allegedly depicts the two of them engaging in the hibbity-dibbity, calling it, quote-unquote, key evidence in their case against the former NFL star. Now, some might think that he's withholding that information because they don't have any information and it's all one big fat-ass lie, or that like they're bluffing, or he's not releasing it because he knows that could come back and bite him in the butt. So Tony Busby tells TMZ he and his client, who filed a lawsuit against Sharpe earlier this month for SA using the pseudonym Jane Doe, have zero plans right now to put the footage out to the media. The only reason you know about the existence of a video video recording is that Mr. Sharpe specifically referenced it in his BS statement. This is what Busby said. The contents of the video was shared during the mediation process with Sharpe's attorneys. Again, Sharpe and his team disclosed that, not us. Like I just said to you guys just a second ago, okay? Before even reading this article, he literally said it, not them. He's got a point there. Whether you're on Team Busby or Team Jane Doe or on Team Sharpe side, he's got a point. Nothing was said by the Jane Doe, Gabriella. Okay? So again, the contents of the video were shared during the mediation process with Sharpe's attorneys. And you know for a fact they saw the video and then they freaked the F out. And that's why they said, how about if we just give you a minimum of $10 million so that you can shut up and disappear? That's what I believe. They saw the video and they're like, oh, damn, Shannon, this is bad. This is bad, Shannon. So again, Sharpe and his team disclosed that, not us. Sharpe himself was offered on more than one occasion to view it himself. He declined. We've never made any claims or threats about it and won't do so. Wow. And no, he added, we won't be, quote unquote, releasing the video as it is key evidence in the case and will be treated as such. Because he's like, again, if they have this stuff and that moved his team, if that moved Shannon Sharpe's team so much, that video, whatever was seen, it was so bad that his team was like, yeah, we might have to do some sort of settlement, bruh. That's big. So we already know the video that they're referencing to. We just watched it a couple times. Okay. This is what he did 2 days after Jane Doe filed her suit. He stated in an Instagram post that it's a 30-second clip of this spicy tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. Like I said, what is this stereotype? Was she calling him the N-word while he was R-ing her? Was she using racially specific terms while he was doing whatever he was alleged of doing? That's the question. You never know. He might have been zooted out of his mind, high as hell, out of his mind, but that still doesn't justify anything. He then contended that the video should actually be 10 minutes or so before he implored Tony Busby, to put it out to the public in its entire unedited state. Doe is suing Sharpe for $50 million, which we already know about as well. But I'm telling you right now, let's see if there's anything more. Okay. The fact that his team, after their many meetings, saw this footage and still went to him and said, hey, we should settle outside of court, says something. That definitely says something. Now, is it that damning? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But you also got to see the process. They had a mediation, they had multiple mediation meetings where they showed his team the footage. He did not want to see the footage, but his team saw the footage. They saw the footage, and then they came up with some sort of deal to work out with between Shannon Sharpe and Gabriella. Then Gabriella suddenly out of nowhere pulled out of the deal, out of the negotiations, when she was right about to be signing her signature on the dotted line and get her mills and get her millions. She bowed out. Why? And I think it's solely because of this tape. Whatever video that exists. And this video is so bad that apparently people are saying that they saw it. Somebody's saying that this, and I'll say this, take this with a grain of salt. Take this whole doggone thing with a grain of salt. But another person is claiming that they have seen this footage. Now, I don't know if you guys know about the Art of Dialogue. I highly, highly recommend you guys go check out the Art of Dialogue. Because he's got some really great stuff. He's got a really great channel. He has done a lot of coverage on things that were going on with Diddy. A lot of people in the industry speaking out about the things that are going on in the industry. He's had some very high profile people on his show. But what's very interesting about this is that there is a guy, all right, he goes by Lord Jamar. He is saying some things about a friend of his saw the actual tape. And his friend is basically saying, oh, no, Sharpe's going to prison. Now, I don't know how much of this is true because you know how these streets are. People talk. People make things up like crazy. People lie through their teeth just so that they can have an opportunity to be on camera. But the fact that this guy is saying, oh, this guy should be in prison for what he did, from what he saw in this video, this is not good. Just fair warning. It is pretty graphic language in this video. He kind of does sugarcoat it, sort of, but there's some things he can't get around. All right. Now, I still wonder if he's telling the full truth or not, but that is just something I'm kind of curious about. Because in my mind, I'm like, how has he gotten his hands on the actual tape so that he could see it himself? But we're going to look at that in here in a second. But 720, thank you so much for the love, Unc, a freak. And it caught up to him. Yeah, That's for show. Now, that's the other thing, too. There's also been a lot of rumors about maybe he has some sort of addiction, like an carnal addiction to, and clearly you enjoy whatever the hell you were doing. Does it mean it's an addiction? I don't know. But that's some other conversation that needs to be had later on. Because I feel like some people, some guys, and some women will use this as an excuse so that they don't take the full brunt of the responsibility. It's the addiction talking. I mean, I remember there was other people that were caught cheating on their spouses, and they'll sit there and go, I'm addicted. I have an S addiction. You know what I mean? And I'm like, really? That's the best you got? Really? So you can just, so now it's just an addict. Okay. Yeah. It didn't, I think Tiger Woods did it too. Yeah. Tiger Woods, y'all. He said the same doggone thing. Okay. And I'm keeping a bean. This is just somebody, that I'm sorry. I just think that you really enjoyed what you were doing. You weren't cheating. You didn't, it's like you didn't have a spouse or anything. You found somebody that was even more of a freak, if not the same level of a freak or more of a freak than you. You enjoyed it and you paid for it. And that's it. Everybody has their vice. I guess his was that. Getting his weed whacker in that garden as much as he could. Black pleather straps. But let's get into this. Let's take a listen to this. I'm going to speed up the audio just so you guys know. Just a little bit. All right. But we have got to hear this. This is going to be interesting. And I'm asking you guys, do you believe what is being said or not?
I mean, at first I didn't know much about it, but I'm starting to hear more and more and get more and more information. And it's not looking good for the boy Shay Shay. There's a recording out where she's saying something about, I guess we're gonna have to go out because I don't want to get choked and all this type of shit. And he's basically admitting to choking her and well, if you didn't do the shit you did or some shit like that. But then I'm hearing that there's a tape that's out there. Now I haven't seen this tape, but someone that I know says they have seen this tape. They said, and in this tape, apparently he is choking this girl and railing her from the back. You know what I mean? And I don't think it was from the back in the kitty cat. I think he was hitting her in the shitter. And he was choking her or some shit in the video. Now, from what I hear, he's saying that there's a longer piece to the video, and I guess maybe it shows that she's with that shit. I don't know, but my man who said he saw it says it didn't look good. It don't make him look good.
Okay, I'm going to pause that for really quick. Now, first off, I don't understand why everybody's saying kitty cat lately. I can't escape the phrase kitty cat. We heard it from Don Lemon. Now we're hearing it from Lord Jamar. But the thing is, though, I mean, I don't even know how to say it or even ask the damn question. To have that kind of information out here, and the fact that somebody else has seen the video does make you wonder who's the person that actually saw the video and how did they get their hands on the actual video. With all due respect, I'm not sitting here saying that I don't believe Lord Jamar, but it does make you wonder, because remember, we've heard so many other stories about Diddy. Diddy's stuff was blowing up for a while, a couple months ago. It's going to be blowing back up again soon. Next week, things are going off. They start the jury selection process next week on Cinco de Mayo, next Monday. And of course, we will be watching that. We will be keeping an eye on that for sure. because that's when, because everything starts a week after their voir dire. It's going to be a wrap. And we're going to be seeing all that. But if you notice that when it came to Diddy, there was a lot of information. Things came out like a flood. There was a flood of information that just came out like crazy. And there were people that were sitting there going, yeah, I saw the freak off tapes, or I was in the room. I saw it myself. There was a guy wearing an owl mask, and he had a whole, toy in his hand, jamming in another dude. And like, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these people that are saying all kinds of crazy stuff. Not sitting here saying that I don't believe Lord Jamar, but there is a part of me that wonders who has it, how do they have it, and why hasn't it been leaked ever? I'm just asking. I'm asking for, all of us, right? 720, thank you again. These things are bad for anybody. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is going to be bad. Somebody did ask me a question here. I'm going to pull it up here. And I saw it. You're repeating the question again, but I do appreciate the question. Do you think that this will get as big as the whole thing with Diddy and Cassie? No. You want to know why? Because yes, Shannon Sharpe is a big name, but he is not Diddy level. Let me just say that. Shannon Sharpe is a big name, but he hasn't been in the limelight like this as long as Diddy has. Diddy has a multi-decade career. Remember that. He's been out here since the 90s. So he's been in this for a long time. And you got to remember all the people that have been coming out, suing or exposing Diddy. Some of those go as far back as 1991. I'm not kidding. So with this, there's a possibility. Let me tell you, there is a possibility that people from the 90s, people from when he was in the heyday of his NFL career, there might be some people that might step forward. That's possible. But do I think it's going to be at the level of Diddy? No. I see criminal charges possibly in the future for Shannon, but not on the federal level. I don't see it on the federal level. I see it more on, I see criminal charges, but not on the federal level. I don't see the FBI or the, or et cetera, Homeland Security getting involved. I just don't see it. Not right now. And there's only been one other person that has stepped forward saying anything about any type of allegations towards Shannon Sharpe. Now, this is just the beginning, and there could be more, because God knows what kind of relationships he may have had with other women, like what kind of understanding or what kind of transaction he may have had or may have built with other women that are synonymous to the relationship that he built with Gabriella Zuniga, the Jane Doe in question, right? So it does make you wonder, are these other women going to step forward and speak out? I don't know. It's going to be interesting if that does actually happen. And when it does actually happen, everything's going to go off like a powder keg. But I don't know if it's going to be as massive. But we'll see. We will see. It's going to be wild. 720. Thank you so much, Pascal. Shannon messed up bad, and he's going to pay millions for it. Oh, that's clear. That's clear already, that he's going to pay millions for this one particular moment. Is he going to have to do this to others? I don't know. Is he going to have to pay off others and do a bunch of settlements outside of this? We will see. We will see. But again, this is what these are the allegations that are being put out right now. And remember, guys, this is kind of how what happened. And this is exactly what the person who just asked that question, I forgot your name, I'm sorry, but just asked a question about, could this be as big as the Cassie Diddy situation? It has potential for that. But do I think that it will get to that level? No. Here's the other thing, too. I want to point this other thing out. What if he really did something criminal? Why isn't he arrested right now? Why isn't he in jail? That's the instant first question I'm going to ask all the time whenever you see a civil lawsuit being made on somebody, especially when that crime is still done within the last 3 years. Sean B was the one that asked the question. Thank you. And thanks for the question. But that's instantly what I think about. This person is suing. This Jane Doe, Gabriella, is suing him for millions of dollars instead of actually saying, I want to throw you in jail. Now, if she does have smoking gun evidence of him actually breaking the law, caught on video, man, where are his criminal charges? She instantly went for the money. That's the reason why there's a lot of people that are looking at this and saying, okay, optically, it looks like a shakedown, baby. It's a shakedown, baby. You're only after the money. You don't give a damn about the criminal charges. If he's a monster and you believe he is dangerous to society, he should be locked up first. Then you can go after him civilly. But she's not doing that. She's not doing that. So again, I'd love to. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't want to see an R in 4K. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the act of an SA. But if there really is a moment where she's sitting there saying, no, 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 like get off me, no, 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 or whatever, and he's not listening to her, he is in trouble. But if that that allegation is not depicted in this video, oh, this is a shakedown, baby. This is most definitely a shakedown. But you know for a fact, if his lawyer saw that video, which is what he claims, so is what Tony Busby claims. I gave him the video. I gave his lawyers the video. They saw the video and they still went to Shannon and said, yeah, you should try to settle this outside of court. Let's try to do a settlement before this actually sees the light of day, because this is going to be bad. It clearly shows to me that there was something on that tape that was bad. You even heard it in the interview with Don Lemon and Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. That lawyer said she is heard in the video, seen in the video, saying no, 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 no. That's not good. Now, of course, we have not seen the video. We don't know the context of the reason why she says no, 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 no. They could have been playing Parcheesi, for crying out loud, and he's winning, and she just says no, 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 no. It could have been that too. We haven't seen the whole thing. But the fact that his lawyer is basically saying she says no, 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 no in the video, that's not good. It's not. Bad enough for him to try to settle this before it saw the light of day in the court of public opinion. Just something to think about. Let's play a little bit more of this.
Yeah, I don't know how they was able to see it, but they seen a clip of it. And told me it wasn't a good look for Mr. Sharpe in this clip.
Well, breaking news. He just posted something on his social media accounts about 20 minutes ago. Check your text.
Breaking news. Let's see. Okay, what's Shannon? To step aside temporarily to my family and sincerely owned by Disney, and Disney likes to look clean. You know what I mean? We can't have all these sexual allegations and this and that for one of our stars. So yeah, that was probably a smart move before this got out of hand and he get fired. Yeah, okay. Well, he plans to come back when preseason football starts. So
he ain't coming back.
We'll see what happens until then.
He ain't
I don't
coming
know. I
back.
could believe that it was consensual. Like, you got to understand, there's some freaky motherfuckers in the world. You could search probably any kind of porn and it's going to be out there. You know what I mean? Choking porn. Okay. You know? So it could be some of that. It could be that. And that could, all it could be. Or, you know, it could be what she's saying. But how do we know? How do we know? How do you differentiate from the two. I know a lot of people will say, well, how about this black man? Stop fucking with these white girls.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that. Yeah.
Because these white girls be out here trying to take a black man down. And so some people will be like, yeah, that's what you get with those white girls, those little white girls. And a chink in somebody's armor and this out into the public. Get 10. Let me go for the 50. You know what I mean? I got this shit on tape. I could just show the part of the tape of when he was choking the shit out of me. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, I don't dispute that. But show the other parts of the tape. Show the other parts when she telling me to, when she put my hand around her throat.
He's got a point right there, though, too, that there could be more to it than that. Also, it could have been, oh, this sounds crazy. I'm about to say something crazy, y'all. Oh, my damn. I didn't even think about this until just now. This is insane. Just roll with me. Just roll with me. Yeah, Nina G, you ain't wrong. But no is no. And I agree with that 100%. But let me just say something really, really quick. Oh, this is going to be bad. But what if it was an our fantasy? Think about that for a second. Oh, damn. What if it was an our fantasy? Yeah, some people are wild out there. Some people are wild out there. Don't at me. I'm just asking the question. But what if it was an our fantasy? And he was playing it out. Oh, damn. Oh, boy. Think about it for a second. Think about it. Because some of y'all nasty out there. Some of y'all got some wild ideas. But what if it was an our fantasy? So in this video, they had a plan. They had an understanding. They're doing that thing. Maybe what he just said. She puts his hand up there, allows him to put his hand around her neck, that kind of thing. And then while he's in the middle of doing the our fantasy role play thing, she's saying, no, 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 no. But he's acting out the our fantasy. Oh, damn. Do you understand how bad that would be? That would really, I'm just saying, what if? I'm just asking the question. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, it definitely was that. But I'm just saying there are some people out here that like to play out those kinds of fantasies. Oh, damn. That would be bad. Because then it's all on tape. And him not thinking, he's thinking, oh, I'm going to get it in. I'm going to have some fun. Right? But now it's on tape. And again, he's sitting there going, listen to me. You don't understand. The 30 seconds makes it look like I'm some sort of Neanderthal monster predator. But in actuality, this was a whole fantasy that we played out. You got to remember all the text messages. I want you to put a dog collar around me and then tighten it while you're, you know what I mean? All those things. The baby gravy, the tongue in the butthole, the big black baby inside me, and all those things that she's been saying, which have been wild as hell. They have basically been enacting all of those things, right? Lots and lots of role play. So what are the possibilities of her going like, I want you to get in the room and I want you to take over. This is what you're going to do. Bah, 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 bah. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe no was not part of the safety word. If you really think about it, because that's part of the our fantasy. Her saying no. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, sorry, I'm done with that. I'm gonna stop there. But I'm just saying, what if? And that would be some wild-ish. That would be some wild-ish. Okay. And then she has this on tape. Oh my dear God, that would be bad. And still a really bad look on him, though, too. You understand me? Ay, Chihuahua.
Oh. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not.
Hey, yo, I want to ask you, what's bondage play?
Bondage play? Bondage.
I don't know, man. It seems like they had a kinky relationship, man. And for some reason, she, trying to make it seem like he, violated her.
Exactly. So if you like getting tied up, that's all that S&M type of shit. Motherfucker. Basically, they say sadomasochism, but I say it's slave and master. You know what I mean? And it probably stems from slavery times when these motherfuckers got sexual gratification out of beating the shit out of their slaves and shit like that. And now, because we take on a lot of the characteristics of the slave master, some of us have now started to get sexual gratification off of sexual violence. Yeah, you just find little bits of violence that you'll see in, you know what I mean, that they inject in porn, and then it is what it is. My man just texted me this morning. He was like, yo, Shannon Sharpe's going to jail. I just saw the video. Right? I was like, oh, shit. Matter of fact, it was last night, like after 12.
How did he
Shannon
get
Sharpe
the
is
video?
going to prison. I just saw the video.
Yeah, that situation crazy, man. But I'm trying.
I want to know how he got the video. Okay? That's what I'd like to know, Dagnabbit. How did he get the video? How would he get his hands on that video and then he go, oh yeah, he definitely going to be doing some time. If he was going to do some time, he would have been locked up already. You feel me? He would have already been locked up by now, but he's not going to do any time unless out of nowhere there's a spin and then they do lock him up. But she's only after, it's not only, it's a lot of money, but she's going after at least $50 million. So again, when you look at something like this, it does make you wonder, like, was he caught red-handed? Did he do crimes? Does he have a lot of splaining to do? Was this an R fantasy or some sort of crazy role play that they were doing that now was caught on film and he was being, he was trusting of her and willing to do this fantasy with her? I don't know. It's just crazy. But 720, I appreciate both these super chats. When he comes back, LOL. Shannon is cooked. Yeah, he is really cooked. All right. And again, thank you so much. Never. You never go full freak. Never go full freak. Yeah. That's wow. It's Janine's like, what a setup, though. I mean, if it was like that, if it really was a setup like that, diggity damn, y'all. Like diggity damn. Oh. And it's bad because it's like, oh, he was just he could have been innocent if it really was that. She's like, oh yeah, okay, I want you to go in here and I want you to do this. And then I want you to take, you know what I mean? I want you to take control. I want you to make, do this and do that. And I want you to blah, 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 blah. I'm just a little damsel in distress type thing, right? That's possible. Those things do exist. If that's how you rock your boat, that's how you rock your boat. As long as it's consensual, guys, please just let it be consensual. But then if at the same time, if you're going to do something like that, any type of fantasy of any kind, make sure you're doing it with somebody you trust, not just some OF model that makes this kind of content on their OF platform. With all due respect, unless your wife or your spouse is an actual OF model and you're doing this content with them as well for fun, for experimentation, to let it be spicy in the bedroom, then that's with your spouse and your partner that you've been with a long time. But when you're with somebody that it's a transactional relationship, which this clearly was, Bill Belichick, I'm sorry. That's a financial relationship right there. That's a transactional relationship if I ever seen one. But especially after that interview, if you know the Bill Belichick situation, you know the Bill Belichick situation, okay? Consensual is necessary, yes, absolutely. 720, thank you. But yes, this consensual part of things has got to be necessary. But you have to be doing something like this type of activity with someone you absolutely care for and you absolutely trust. Trust is everything. Trust has to be on the table. You can't just do like that black pleather straps types of stuff with just some random person. It requires a lot of communication and a lot of trust of that person. You're literally relinquishing control of your body to someone else if it's that kind of spiciness. So, of course, I would hope that you would be doing that kind of stuff with someone that you absolutely trust. Now, on the erring on the side of this being consensual and this being a Shannon Sharpe shakedown, this is where he messed up, because he knows he is a very successful, very rich man. He has a huge name, and he is trusting himself onto this particular person. There's no love in this relationship. This was a transactional relationship. And that's where he messed up. But where the mess up starts, and what could potentially be where he really messed up, is that he didn't listen to her when she said no a bunch of times. And that all depends on the confines or the context of the actual video itself. If this was some sort of role-playing type of activity in which no would turn the person on even more, the word no could turn the person even more on, then that needs to be looked into as well. Think about it for a second. Because if it is in our fantasy, the word no will not be acknowledged. It will be ignored even more because it's in our fantasy. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's all depending on if they were going that route, which would be absolutely insane. But hey, anything's possible. He also did say this is he'll play into every stereotype he can think of off of this video. What if she was sitting there going, no, I don't want to get AR'd by a black guy. Oh my God. And he responds like, you gonna get this D. You know what I mean? You never know. And if that's the case, oh boy, he's in trouble. He's in real trouble. Damn, Shannon Sharpe. And then, yeah, I think that the $25,000 per cheek, 25K per cheek. First off, E-Rock, 25K per cheek. You know, that's crazy expensive. That makes Shannon look like a low value man. Oh, snap. But yo, let's be real. But get it. I got jokes for days. But you know, you look at something like that and you go, oh, damn. Maybe there was a negotiation that they were having between them, and he wasn't willing to pay more money. She wasn't having it. And so here we go with the lawsuit and the tapes and all that. And remember, she did say, where did it go? She did say, hold on, guys. I got to cross-reference, bring this back up. She did say a couple things. First off, just a reminder, she said a few things. What did she say? She said, one thing about me, I kept the receipts. What y'all heard ain't even the half of it. I stay quiet out of fear, but not anymore. Then her next and last post, which I'm about to go check her IG right now, literally, just to see if she posted anything else. She put out more. Oh, snap. Okay, hold on. I got to I have got to share these with y'all. 1 second. Because she did post some new stuff. As of 2 hours ago, she put up 2 new posts. Sheesh. This is crazy. Okay, so here's the other one. Like I said to you guys before, everything in the dark always comes to light. Healing first, speaking later. I'm going to be live soon when I'm ready. Everything will make sense. Stay tuned. That's what she put up a couple days ago. Okay. Then she put up even more. She has two more clips, or two more that she just put out. So I am going to download these really quick. Man, this is so bad. This is so bad for him, man. None of this is looking good for him at all. Okay, so there's this one, which is, and I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see it. This is what she just put up 2 hours ago. I've been quiet, but I haven't been still. I'm not rushing it. But just know the truth is still unfolding. If only y'all knew how hard this is for me, stay tuned. Then she put out another thing, which was this. Stay tuned. And then, of course, this whole thing, Shannon Sharpe, S-tape, video will not be released. Accuser's lawyer says it's key evidence in case. She put this right here. So we already know for a fact that this is most definitely Gabriela Zuniga. She posted this on her Instagram stories. All of these that I've just been, sharing with you guys. This new one that just came out. I've been quiet, but I haven't been still. I'm not rushing it, but just know the truth is still unfolding. If only y'all knew how hard this is for me, stay tuned. And she already said that she's going to be going out live at some point and dropping receipts, because she says, I have the receipts. I'm holding on to those doggone receipts. Get ready, because it's about to go off. So we already know who this person is. It has been exposed. She's even now speaking out even more. So it is, without question, Gabriela. And when she drops the information, it's going to be wild. Well, it's going to be wild, and I'm wondering if it's actually going to stick. If there are incriminating hard evidence, this is going to be interesting. And for a fact, we're going to be live talking about that too. 720, thank you so much for the love again. Shannon's bag is going to be light over a 20-year-old. Oh, my Lord. Yep. Yeah. Ain't that the truth? All because he put his weed whacker in the wrong garden. But at the same time, he may have been doing gardening in a garden that didn't even want any gardening to be gardened in the first doggone place. You never know. Remember, information she might have in her back pocket might be really, really bad. And it may be true. It may very well be true. Or this could very well be a doggone shakedown. We're going to see, because it will be interesting when she goes live. When she comes out with her info, this is going to be wild, y'all. And we're going to be there for it. We are definitely going to be there for it. Trust and believe. This is going to be crazy when this information comes out. But that is the show, guys. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Again, information, she might come out with some stuff that's extremely damning, or she might not have anything at all. Give it time. We'll see what's going on here. We'll definitely see what's going on here. But again, guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. It really means a lot. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what to do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're watching on my other platforms like Facebook, all the way to Rumble. I'm on all of those platforms. So follow. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there as well, because there's a lot of content I'm talking about over there and I'm not talking about over here. So make sure you're subscribed to both. Hit that notification bell, set it to all on both channels. Hit that join button down below, become a member. Check out my Patreon, check out my locals, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, so go check it out. But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We got some videos coming out very shortly, so be on the lookout for that. And we'll talk here very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.